Good afternoon, I'm Belinda De Lasheras with 2NURFM Hunter News. Newcastle shipbuilders Forjax could be about to embark on a new method of putting the vessels together if the federal government gives the green light for a special cost-saving program. Under the plan, all shipping yards in Australia would adopt continuous contracts, helping the government plans to churn out up to 40 new ships by 2035. Australian Manufacturing Workers Union Assistant National Secretary Glenn Thompson says the program boasts a number of benefits.
Well, the continuous build program ensures continuity of work, which allows workers to build and maintain their skills. It allows companies to operate in a very efficient manner, and it allows Navy to get a product on time and on schedule and within budget.
Mining giant Rio Tinto is standing firm on plans to extend the Mount Thorley Warkworth open-cut mine, despite calls for the company to go underground. Residents are expected to put their case to Premier Mike Baird if he accepts an invitation to visit the region. President of the Bulga-Milbrodale Progress Association, John Lamb, says the state government needs to step in and seek better outcomes.
There's only one other comment, that we would support the mine if they decided to go underground. We believe that there is an absolute win, and the government should just simply go to Rio and say, it's possible for you to mine it underground. We, in fact, have expert advice that it is possible. It's possible for you to mine it underground. Do that, and the problem will go away.
Meanwhile, there are fears today the Hunter's Weeping Mile woodlands could be on its way to extinction as a result of threats associated with land clearing for mining, housing and agriculture. The state's scientific committee estimates up to 93% of the woodland has already been cut, prompting urgent calls for the habitat to be granted critically endangered status. Vice President of the Bulga-Milbrodale Progress Association, John Cray, says a large portion of woodland at Warkworth's Wombo coal mine is at risk of subsidence and flooding.
And it's not an even drop in the ground surfaces because of the longwall mining approach they take. It undulates, so you'll have stands of timber which have dropped a couple of metres and not evenly. Well, of course, they don't survive that sort of damage.
Cessnock Gallery is calling for a financial lifeline to stop its doors closing by the end of the month, with $36,000 in emergency council funding. Council's currently in the process of a strategic review to determine the viability of the gallery, on the back of advice its existing operational model won't be sustainable without ongoing support from a benefactor. Mayor Bob Pinsent says they're hoping to provide some answers.
Firstly, the question of whether Cessnock needs an art gallery. The other part to that would be, if the answer is yes, what structure would that take? Whether it continued where the current location of the art gallery, or look at other ways of housing artworks throughout the local government area.
It appears Port Stephens is the hot new destination this Easter, with hordes of tourists booking out accommodation over the upcoming long weekend. It seems visitors from Sydney and regional New South Wales are flocking to the peninsula, the area expecting to surpass Boxing Day figures. Council's Events and Tourism Coordinator Kim Latham says it's a lucrative time for the region's small businesses.
The tourists that will flock to Port Stephens over the long weekend and hopefully the longer school holiday period will all spend their money, and the community of Port Stephens will benefit greatly, no matter if it's a dedicated tourism business or, of course, the service stations, just the general businesses in town and the community as a whole.
Now with sport, Jacinta Lee.
The Newcastle Knights will be fighting to bring home 5 from 5 this Easter Saturday as they take on the Dragons for the inaugural Alex McKinnon Cup. Tarek Simmons prepares to make his red and blue debut, replacing an injured Robbie Rocco on the back row, while David Farlongo retains his spot in the front. Meanwhile, James McManus is set to make a return from injury, covering winger Sione Matautia, who's once again been named on an extended bench alongside Chris Houston. Former Jets strength and conditioning coach Andrew Packer is now preparing to make his mark in the Northern New South Wales NPL competition, tackling the top job at South Cardiff under-19s. It's after the Jets showed him the door back in January as part of a club revamp. Pack is also planning to mentor youth and senior Gunners players. And in-form hunter greyhound Lollipop Ollie will be pushing the limits in today's 10-race card as he looks to make a name for himself ahead of this month's Maitland Gold Cup. That's sport. I'm Jacinta Lee.
2NURFM News Time is coming up to 12:11.